Hello, everyone, and welcome to Teacher Nolan's English podcast. Today, we will be talking about culture shock, American tipping culture. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Teacher Nolan's English podcast. Today, you're listening to our culture shock segment where we explore unique customs and traditions from different cultures. If you want to practice your English with the free transcript, comprehension quiz, and provided answer key, check out my Patreon where all of these are free for this class. In today's episode, we're talking about something that often surprises people who visit the United States, tipping culture. Whether you're traveling, studying, or just curious, understanding tipping in America can help you avoid awkward situations and show appreciation for good service. So let's jump in. What is tipping? Alright, so what exactly is tipping? Well, tipping means giving a little extra money to someone who provides you with a service. In America, it's very common to tip in places like restaurants, bars, hotels, and even taxis. In some countries, tipping is either optional or not done at all. But in the United States, it's not just expected, it's actually a big part of the culture and the economy. Why do I need to tip? Now you might wonder, why do I have to tip? In the United States, tipping is important because many workers in service jobs depend on tips to earn a good wage. Unlike in some other countries, American servers in restaurants, for example, often have a low hourly wage, so the tips they receive make up a large part of their income. How much to tip? When it comes to tipping in America, there's a general rule about how much to leave as a tip. For example, in restaurants, it's common to tip around 15 to 20% of the total bill. So if your bill is $50, you might leave $7.50 to $10 as a tip. If the service was amazing, you might leave even more. But if the service was poor, it's also okay to tip a little less, though, in general, it's polite to leave something, even if it's just a few dollars. When do I need to tip? It's not just in restaurants, though. Tipping is common in other places too. For examples, in bars, people often leave $1 to $2 for each drink they order. In hotels, you might tip the housekeeping staff a few dollars each night of your stay. When you take a taxi, it's normal to tip the driver around 10 to 15% of the fare. But remember, tipping is always a choice. It's a way to say thank you for good service. The amount of the tip is usually based on how satisfied you are with the service you received. Why you should tip. Let's talk a little bit about what happens if you don't tip. Some visitors to the US feel uncomfortable with tipping or don't realize it's part of the culture. If you don't leave a tip, especially in restaurants, servers might feel hurt or even think you are unhappy with the service. Not tipping can sometimes lead to the misunderstandings or even bad feelings, so it's good to know the custom before you go out. Tipping equals respect. Another thing to know is that in America, tipping is seen as a sign of respect and kindness. Many Americans believe that leaving a good tip shows you appreciate the hard work of others. Some people even tip extra during the holiday season to spread a little more kindness. So if you want to make someone's day, leaving a generous tip is a great way to do it. Conclusion. Finally, let's go over a quick recap. Tipping is expected in most American restaurants, usually around 15 to 20% of the bill. Tipping is also common in bars, hotels, taxis, and some other services. Many service workers depend on these tips to support themselves, so it's an important part of American culture. How would you feel if tipping were more common in your country? Would it be strange, or would you enjoy it? These are questions you can ask yourself about your own culture. Alright, that wraps up today's Culture Shock segment on tipping in America. I hope this helps you understand a bit more about this unique part of American life. Remember, cultural differences can feel surprising, but learning about them can help you feel more comfortable in new places. Thank you so much for tuning in to Teacher Nolan's English podcast. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to visit my Patreon channel that is linked below to get access to the free transcript, comprehension questions, and answer key from today's class. If you have any questions about today's topic, feel free to reach out or leave a comment. And if you're enjoying the show, please share it with a friend who's learning English too. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep exploring new cultures. See you in the next episode.